back to another video, and today's gonna be the start of a kind of a new segment on the channel. It's gonna be called Archetype Overview. For the most part, I didn't want to have something sound like rank 10, so so I had to come up with something on the spot. So I just decided to make it Archetype Overview because it's gonna be basically the point of this. It's gonna be like new archetypes are coming out in certain sets when they come out. So for example, Soul Fusion here, I'm gonna go make a video for each new archetype coming out of that set, for example. So like today, like for example, like one of the new archetypes coming out in the Soul Fusion, the poster one of it is like Thunder Dragons. I'm counting them as a new archetype because Thunder Dragon was only one little card, and so given the fact he's getting an archetype pretty much, I'm gonna count it. So yeah, basically, I'm going to be making, like, every time a new set's about to come out, like, maybe, like, the week of when it's about to come out, I'm going to be making a video for each new archetype to come out of that. So that's pretty much the basis of what's going to be going on here. And today in the first installment, it's going to be Dinowrestlers. And I haven't talked about this deck ever since Prankertops was released a few months ago. But yeah, no, there's 4 new archetypes in Soul Fusion. I know Dinowrestlers are first because, let's be honest, they're dinosaurs and they kind of get the front of the line. They are front of the line pretty much by default here because they're dinosaurs. So anyway, so in this video, so we're gonna go talk about the overview, like when I talk about the cards in general. We're gonna go a quick rundown of all the cards in this deck, and then we're gonna go through pros and cons, and at the very end I'm gonna discuss and like say what I feel like how this deck is gonna fare going on in the future. So anyway, let's go down some of the cards and stuff like that, like our quick rundown of what Dinowrestlers are. So Dinowrestlers, they're like a going second focused deck, where most of the cards, like some of their cards, plus when you have less monsters than your opponent. So let's run down the first card. I have my notes down here, so if you see me look down a lot, it's because I'm looking at my notes quick. But anyway, so let's talk about one of their first cards. Let's talk about their field spell, World Dino Wrestling. So what's the first one of their cards, and it's actually not a bad field spell. So while you control a Dino Wrestler monster, only one monster can attack during each battle phase. If a Dino Wrestler monster you control attacks an opponent's monster, it gets 200 attack during your damage calculation only. And if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon a Dino Wrestler from your deck. So, and you can only use this effect of World Dino Wrestling once per turn. So not a bad field spell. I mean, it has some cool things going on with it. I don't know the relevance of the first effect, where you only one monster can attack. I feel like that's kind of the weakest of it. But honestly, I think it's fine. The Dino Wrestler giving them 200 attack during each damage for the damage step stuff. That's really cool. And then like the plus effect when you have less monsters than your opponent, you can just banish to spec. That's also really nice. It gets some board presence. So all in all, pretty decent field spell. So let's get on to one of the first monsters, Dinowrestler Prankertops. Now this is pretty much the best known, I feel, of all these guys, because he honestly has some out of archetype irrelevance after, like, which I'm gonna get into. But for him, he's pretty much a cyber dragon, if that makes sense. Because if you control less monsters than your opponent, you can special summon him, and then as a quick effect, you contribute one monster to pop a card. So that's actually not that bad, and that's a quick effect too. So pretty much, if you go in second, you got a 2600 beat stick that can have a quick effect of popping a card, which honestly isn't that bad, and that's actually really cool. That's actually really good. So, but yeah, he's been cited in like a bunch of side decks in the OCG. The OCG have been running him like at the 3 in the side decks. So honestly, I feel like that trend's gonna continue here a bit. I feel like maybe. So don't be surprised if you see 3 Prankertops in a side deck out of a top cut deck. I feel because who wouldn't want a 2600 beat stick going second that can pop a card? That's just me. I feel like it's really good. So honestly, that's pretty much their best monster. It has pretty much one of the best monsters in the deck has, other than the Link monster. The Link monster's kind of like, it's a little bit better, but yeah, not a bad start here for the monsters. So let's go on to the next one. So the next one, Sistego. Sistego, if special, if you special summon, you can add a Dino Wrestler monster or a World Dino Wrestling from deck to hand. So that's kind of cool. You don't even need to use terraforming to get out the World Dino Wrestling. And if you have less monsters than you do, if you have less monsters than your opponent and he was used and he's sent to the graveyard this turn, you can special a Dinowrestler from the graveyard. So that's actually not that bad. The searching effect is really relevant, I feel, because you can get more searches. And then pretty much the special summon effect, yeah, you have to have less monsters than your opponent, but it's honestly not that bad to have more field swarming, in my opinion. So not that bad. I mean, from grave, not from deck. My bad. So from grave, get some recursion in the deck at least. So honestly, not a bad monster. Then we go on to Kapoi Raptor, which is a really, I think I butchered that, by the way. Kapoi Raptor, Kapu Raptor. I don't know. He has a weird name. I'm sorry, bud. I'm sorry, bud. Your name, I might have to get used to it. Ending with him. So he can't be destroyed by battle when he's in attack position. And he's, during the damage, after the damage step, he's changed to defense position. And during the standby phase, he has a totally awesome kind of effect. During the standby phase, you can special a Dinowrestler from deck. It doesn't even require you to have less monsters. It just in general, if he's in defense position during the standby phase, any standby phase, you special a Dinowrestler. You can. So I like this. The first effect, I mean, him being destroyed by battle is fine. I like that. And the fact that he's changed the defense position after the damage step is fine. I like that it's not just your standby phase that you can special a Dinowrestler. Like, it's any standby phase. I think that's really relevant. So I feel like he could be a 2 or 3 of. Honestly, I think he should be a 3 of. I mean, he's one of your better guys. He's one of your better level 4s, which can, you know, do stuff. So, and we get on to the last main deck monster, Kapaptera. So with him, if you have, so basically, if you have less monsters than your opponent, he can send a monster to grave from your opponent's side of the field. So yeah, so that's actually not bad. Gets some board clearing, and it just sends, doesn't destroy, so that's actually really nice, but it sends. And then with him, if he's used his link material for a link monster, you can give that link monster 8,000 attack. Honestly, he's kind of the worst. I feel he's the worst Dinowrestler. And he's not even Earth, all the rest are Earth, and he's the Wind one, so of course the Wind one is the worst one, because Wind isn't that good. I'm so sorry if you're a Wind player, but that's the truth. But, so the Wind one, he's not that good. I mean, I don't think you really need to use him. I mean, if you really wanted to, yeah, sure, you can make your King T-Rexel 4K, but he's not that good. I don't think anyone's going to be using him. I'm sorry, buddy, but you might be the worst one out. So, and then we're gonna get to the last card, King T-Rexel. So he's kind of a doozy. So if he attacks, he can, basically your opponent cannot activate spells or traps, and he can also, you have to attack him. So when your opponent can only attack him, can't attack any other Dinowrestler monsters or monsters your side of the field, I think. Or I think it's just Dinowrestlers, and they pretty much they have to attack him. They cannot attack anything else. They have to attack Rexel here, and he's 3K. And also, he has another effect, if I can read down here. Yep. He also has a light stage kind of effect, by basically he targets a monster, and that monster can only attack. And if it didn't attack, it destroys it. I think that's how it goes. I'm sorry, I wrote it down quick. Forgive me if that effect is wrong, but that's pretty much the gist of it. He's honestly not that bad. He has a lot of attack stuff going on here. I just listed the relevant effects here. So he's not a bad Link monster. He takes 2+ Dinowrestlers. He's a Link 3. Honestly, pretty solid Link 3, and for the most part, for Dinowrestlers. I wish he was kind of a Link 2, but I can forgive. He's a fine Link 3. So that pretty much gets through all the cards. And to be honest, all the cards that we've gotten have been pretty okay, or were pretty good. So, like, decent. So I guess we can go with the pros now. Pros of this deck. It has like synergy with Oviraptor and Conductor, the two dinosaurs that have like the two well-known dinosaurs at the moment, the Conductor and the Oviraptor. This deck is like, you can just slap them in, like throw in 3 Oviraptor, you're good. Throw in Conductor, you're fine. So that's really nice. You also have 3 Fossil Eggs still. The good thing about this deck, when it was in the OCG, they had only 1 Oviraptor. They only had 2 Fossil Eggs. So you pretty much have 3 extra search cards off the bat. So everything should be searchable. You got searching from Sistego, you got Oviraptor, you got Fossil Eggs. So this whole archetype should be searchable, alright? and it has synergy with the other dinosaur cards as well. So to be honest, this deck is in a good position right now because it can fall back on Oviraptor, it can fall back on Miscellaneous, and you can fall back on Conductor. So that's really nice. It has some like, but other than like, also they have level 4 dinos, so we all know that is Logia and Doka. They have access to Logia and Doka, Solemn Strike, Solemn Judgment on legs, so they have access to that. That's amazing. So this deck has some good power plays. That's really good, I feel. Now to the cons, it's a going second deck, and I'm sorry, going second is a very risky strategy as long as Goki is still around. Right? As long as Extra Link Goki over here is around, going second is kind of a risky strategy as long as less you're Cyber Dragons and you just OTK anyway. But so yeah, I mean, do I feel like it's a good going second deck? I mean, it's right now it's okay. It's an okay deck. I mean, it does require you to have less monsters, and I feel like sometimes you might accidentally have equal monsters instead of less sometimes, but for what it is, it's an okay going second deck. It's not like it's Cyber Dragons or Crusadia or anything. It's honestly not that bad. And yeah, I mean, that's my biggest con with the deck, is that that's a going second deck, because if you're playing competitively and you run into a Goki player, you might as well just scoop if they got the extra link, right? But I mean, another con is the fact that some of their monsters are kind of meh. Like if I look at Capaptera, that's not really good. I mean, Capoeiraptor, yes, it's really good at special summoning monsters, but it relies you to be in defense position and stuff like that. Like, and it has a slow kind of way of getting to that, because it has to battle something, then go to defense, and then you have to make sure it stays on the board. You know what I mean? And or like not get ashed or something like that. That's something like that. So that's meh. I mean, the field spell is not really as impressive. The only relevant thing really is the fact it can special Dinowrestler by banishing from grave. You might as well be using Lost World. I feel Lost World. I feel like you could like could be a better field spell than the actual World Dino Wrestling field spell, but that's just me. So yeah, there's some holes in the deck. I mean, also there's only 6 cards. That's the thing. There's only 6 cards for the deck, and I feel like this deck needs more cards in order to get better. So I feel like we should have gotten a Link 2. There should be a Link 2. Now, whether or not that's going to be the generic dinosaur Link, other than Reprodocus over here, like, unless we get a generic Link 2 pointing arrows of this, you're stuck with Rexel. And yes, there's Lanfarincus, and yes, there's Mrs. Radiant, but I feel like you need a generic dinosaur Link 2 that can have these kind of arrows and do some plussing for actually dinosaurs for the deck like this to succeed as well. You can't always rely on Oviraptor Conductor to carry you everywhere. So, and that's why I feel like another thing leading me to the next point, I feel like this deck might get carried by Conductor and Oviraptor too much, because let's be honest, Oviraptor and Conductor are pretty much your other than Prankratops over here, are your best cards in the deck. Because Conductor is your power play, Oviraptor is your searching for everything. So, like, and they're not even in the archetype. So, like, Oviraptor and Conductor. So, I feel like you're just going to be carried most of the time by Conductor and Oviraptor. That's just my opinion, I feel, as of right now. Like, I feel like you're just going to get carried by these two. So, most of the time until we get more support, unless we get more support. Now, I know there's 2 other cards in the anime that were in the anime, and one of them was a hand trap that can boost attack, and the other one was a continuous spell that can give you 400 attack. But other than that, unless we get more support, you're going to be carried by Conductor, I feel, a lot. And Oviraptor. So, as of now, let's get on to the last point, how I think this deck is going to go. Honestly, I feel like, is it going to be tier 1? No. It's not going to be tier 1. I don't think so. Tier 1.5? No. I feel like this is going to be like a tier 2.5, tier 2 to tier 3 deck. Like, could it top a regional? It could. It honestly could. It has tools to do it. I mean, if you have Conductor you're fine, right? I mean, Conductor's an amazing card, and that can get you so much to many good places. So, the fact that it has more weapons than the OCG, like it has more searchability in the OCG, I feel like this deck could maybe top a regional, like maybe once or twice. Like if you maybe spotty tops here and there that could see it. Do I think it'll be consistent? No. I feel like it could maybe like top one, maybe once in the blue moon or something like that as of right now. And yeah, I mean, so that's just me. I feel like I think it could do something in the regionals perspective. Do I think it's going to do anything on YCS? No, but crazier things have happened. But as of right now, I feel like it could only do, it'll be a cool locals deck. Honestly, I'm going to be using it, my locals, a lot, I feel, because honestly, it's dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs in general, and I love this archetype. I'm not saying I hate this archetype. Oh no, I like this archetype. It's just I feel like it has more room for improvement. So, but to reinstate what I was trying to say, it might top a few regionals here or there, maybe, once in the blue moon. But other than that, I don't see much competitive coming out of this deck at the moment, at the very moment, unless we got more support. And another pro that I forgot to mention, they're all commons. This whole deck is common, so it should be pretty easy to get everything. So that's pretty much the biggest con out of all this. It's pretty cheap deck. It's all commons. So if you're looking for a budget dinosaur deck, there you go. If you want to like play around with it, it's gonna be really easy. So, but yeah, that's Dinowrestlers for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this first installment of Archetype Overview for Soul Fusion coverage. So pretty much I'm gonna be getting out the other 3 archetypes as well. So I'm gonna be doing this for every set release for their new archetypes that are coming out in said sets. So that's pretty much when this segment's gonna come up. So, but yeah, no, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below if you liked it, if you enjoyed this new segment, and are excited to see more. And yeah, and also, what do you guys think of Dinowrestlers? Are you guys gonna plan on playing them, or are you guys think it's meh and not gonna do much, or maybe do more competitively than I gave it credit for? So that's it for today, guys. Hope you guys leave a like, comment, definitely subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a nice day.